Today I'll be going over our express car wash service, our mobile service right at our client's home for this custom Ford F250. So you see I got my pressure washer already set up, and I'll be working on these fender liners. Always work wheels first, so I'm trying to knock down as much grime as I can with this pressure washer. There's tall springs that are exposed, a lot of other suspension parts that look really nice. I want to make sure those are all cleaned up and match the rest of this really cool truck. Then I go ahead and grab my foam cannon and foam up that area. This is a lot more efficient of a process versus using a spray bottle for big areas like this. Helps break down that dirt when I put it in a foam cannon. Next I'll be using a long reach brush like this. Is good for trucks, so I could really knock down all as much dirt as I can. And again, I'm scrubbing that tall spring. You can see it's like a red powder coated spring. All real nice stuff in there. I want to make sure that's all cleaned up before I start working on the wheels. Alright, now that you saw that I rinsed off the fenders, I move on to the wheels. I have my foam cannon again just to get behind the wheels first. I have access because it's a lifted truck. It looks better if I get behind those wheels when it's done, so the wheel's fully clean. I move on to the front, and I'm just using a gentle foam car wash soap for these custom wheels, just so I make sure everything is safe when I'm cleaning these custom finished wheels. I use a mitt to get inside those the lip of the wheel. It's a big lip, and then I move on with a brush inside those spokes to make sure it's really clean. Alright, now the wheels are rinsed off. Next step is to clean the tires. I just use a all-purpose cleaner. I'm using McGuire's all-purpose cleaner here. And then I grab a tire brush, a stiff tire brush, and just get inside those big tires, all inside those little areas where dirt could collect, and then I go ahead and rinse off. Alright, so here after I foam down the drive shaft, I go ahead and use a mitt and just go ahead and scrub at the drive shaft to remove any grime that could be on there from normal driving. And this is a great way to just add more to the overall detail, because I can get underneath a lifted truck. Might as well clean all the parts like this, and again it'll just make the end result look even better. And I go ahead and rinse it with my pressure washer and get this drive shaft looking clean. Alright, for this next step here, I'm using a tar remover on the muffler. There was a burnout done, so a lot of that tire residue got really stuck to the muffler. I'll have to use a stronger cleaner like this tar remover to break down that tire. Then I move on to the rear wheels. Just like the front wheels, I foam the rear fenders and then begin with a brush to clean the fenders, and I'll move on to the wheels. Same process again as the front wheels. Alright, now that I finished the wheels, I move on to rinsing the whole body of the truck. I have this big tall gorilla ladder to reach on top of this really tall lifted truck. Does a great job, so I can get all that dirt knocked off the paint first, along the side runners, and then your hood, and then especially the front end. This truck catches a lot of bugs on the front and on the mirrors. So the first process I do to do a pre-rinse, and then you'll see me move on to the foam cannon to foam up the paint. Now with the foam can, I start top to bottom again. This is a great first step to emulsify any dirt and break down any large particles that could be sitting on this paint. So I do this all over the truck and let the soap start doing its work. And this will add lubrication for the next step, where I do the contact wash over my wash mitt. Here I got some bug remover from G-Technic. It's a great cleaner to break down those bugs that really start to sit or etch into the paint if you let it stay too long. Good thing this car is ceramic coated, does make it a little easier to remove. Again, here I am now on my wash mitt on top of the gorilla ladder, making sure to get every area and surface of this truck. And I scrub on the mirrors because there's a lot of bugs and dirt likes to collect on there. Get into the windshield. Inside the windshield cowl, that plastic area, dirt does like to sit and collect there. So again, making sure to get every inch of this truck with the very soft microfiber wash mitt from the Rag Company. So here in this step, I got my wash mitt, Going inside here, the grill area, and underneath, just get those bugs. After the bug remover did its job, I can easily wipe off all those bugs that have stuck onto the paint and the plastics. So I'll go ahead and continue the same process on the other side of the truck here, working top to bottom with my wash mitt, and once I'm done, I'll go ahead and rinse off the truck. And then I'll go ahead and foam the other side of this F250, let the foam do its work and break down some of that loose dirt. And I'll go ahead and grab my wash mitt and start again working top to bottom. And then I continue the same thing for the rear of the truck here. I work in sections just so no soap dries on the paint. And again, working fast, using my wash mitt with the soap to break down all the dirt. And then once again, working in sections, I go ahead and rinse off this side of the truck with all the soap, making sure no residue is left behind. After the rinsing stage is complete, I have my spray wax I use as a drying aid. I spray the whole panel like this roof, and I use my microfiber towel to dry off the area. This will ensure a safe drying method. We're not instilling any swirl marks or scratches, and it helps reduce water spots, getting into all these cracks and crevices like the front bumper, so we're not going to have any water leaking later. And then we move to the back of this truck using multiple towels. We want to soak up as much water as possible, and using the spray wax as a drying aid to ensure a safe drying method. And I go ahead and repeat the same process now on the wheels. We have these large lips on these wheels, so we want to make sure no water is just sitting and pooling inside there and leaving water spots behind. The same thing goes for the spokes. This will ensure a nice finished product for our client. Then I'll also use a leaf blower to blow out water that could be sitting inside the mirrors or emblems or along the windowsills, just to blow out all the water that could continue to sit that the towel did not get out. I then use a towel again to wipe off any remaining water that was blown out with the leaf blower. I move on to the wheels and do the same process to ensure these wheels are dry. Final step here is to clean the glass. I have a dedicated glass cleaner. I'll use 2 towels, and then I'll follow up the first towel with a second dry towel to make sure everything is streak free and clean. I then move on to the muffler. I use steel wool to remove a lot of that tire residue. This was towards the end, so a lot of that residue has been removed, but I continue just to make sure I can get as much shine and clarity onto these mufflers. I then finish with a metal polish, and I use a microfiber towel to really work it in. This will remove a lot of contaminants. The end result's a nice shine onto this muffler. Take a look, this muffler looks like new again. I then finish the detail with tire shine and the applicator pad to get really inside all those little areas on this big tire. Just give it that complete look. It gives it a nice pop and a deep black look to these tires. Alright, this detail is all completed on this F250. The paint's looking amazing. Look how reflective it is. You get a lot of that metallic flake just popping out in the sunlight. Again, super reflective with this paint work. Then we move on to the wheels. Look how cleaned up they are. Muffler is looking like new. Tires all shined up really nice. This truck looks awesome. Fenders are all cleaned up as well to finish off the look with the wheels. If we look up close at the paint, you can see how clear it is and glossy it is after this wash. And we move on to the front as well, all cleaned up, no more bugs on the headlights or the grille. Here you can see some of the suspension components that were cleaned up, looking great inside the fender. This custom F250 is looking ready to go for a car show. It looks so good. This is David from Southside Detail. Thank you for watching, and like always, like and subscribe.